Greetings from Grand Rapids, Michigan. This is the first of a series of improvised video essays that I hope to start making on my personal YouTube channel. There is another YouTube channel that I've been actively on with super, not highly produced, but very deeply researched videos that take a lot of time. They're long format, hour plus long. I've been doing that for about 5 or 6 years, and I'm shutting that down. So I thought I had some creative opportunity to do something that I've been thinking about for a little bit, which is just talking into a camera with the thoughts that I have. I think if 0 people watch the videos and 0 people get any value, it's still valuable for me to do, just in terms of helping me to articulate my thoughts and perhaps work on my public speaking skills, my on-camera skills, especially just improv skills. Different things about voice tonality and posture and all that, I think could be improved perhaps through daily practice. So here we are, here's number 1. I don't promise there will be a number 2, much less number 100, but here's number 1 at least, right? So subject for today's video essay is how to manage creativity. How to manage creativity for people who have many ideas, and in fact, sometimes far too many ideas. So it's something I've been thinking about because I am one of these people that has 100 ideas every day. If there's something I'm even a little bit interested in, my mind just starts generating projects or iterations on that thing. So right now I'm doing social media videos full-time, for example, and I'm just constantly thinking of video series, people to interview, interesting concepts, collaborations. There is unlimited video ideas going through my head. Now, there are some people who say, I want to do TikTok, but I just don't know what to say. I just don't know what to make a video on. So there's some people who don't have this insane amount of creativity in terms of just pure volume of ideas. And I think it is correlated to something that to whatever medium you're good at or have practiced at. Obviously, the more you practice the art and practice also the art of coming up with ideas, not just executing the ideas, but coming up with them, the more your mind will get used to this just generating stuff over and over. I also play music a little bit. I've done a little bit of like jazz improv in the past. So if I were to start songwriting, it would be another thing. I would just have constant ideas all the time, no end of ideas. There's always more ideas. When it comes to something like painting, maybe I would have far less ideas because I don't know anything about painting. So I could have some concepts, but I wouldn't really have any idea where to start. So there are people who are very creative in things, and that's kind of who I'm addressing. People who have way too many ideas, and then people who might not or only have it in certain domains. So that's fair. But the question is, you have 100 business ideas every day. How do you manage that? What do you do with those 100 business ideas you have every day? For me, and I think for a lot of people, it feels like these ideas, these creative ideas, are like little sprites, little ghosts that weasel their way into your brain, or like you're a lightning rod, and they just are attracted to your brain and they stick there. And for some of the ideas, they're so sticky that once they get in there, once they get into your brain, it's very difficult to get them out of your brain. And so I'll get an idea like, oh, I should do this interview series, and I'll go to bed thinking about it, and I'll wake up thinking about it. And for a long time, the only way I could get it to stop haunting me was to go do it. If I go do the idea, then the idea goes away, and I don't have that, whatever that is in my brain that's logged it as like, on a to-do list of something that I gotta go create this thing, this drive, this motivation. The problem is, you can't make 100 businesses a day. You can't make 100 videos a day. You have to choose only the very best ones. You have to be very, very ruthless about which ideas you use and which you don't use. So the first tip or trick I have that I use to deal with all these ideas so they don't haunt me, I just write them down. I have a big list of business ideas. If I ever have a business idea, I just write it down. That way it stops bothering me. I stop thinking about it. I stop dwelling on it. I free up my focus for the very specific things that I'm working on at the moment. And that really helps with just the idea madness. And so then if anyone asks me for like, what's a cool app I can make? I'll like, okay, I have a big list. Here's a big list of apps you can make if you want to share that information. Most people don't do anything with your beautiful ideas, so you don't need to share them. Not that you need to be selfish with them. They're just useless to most people because ideas are easy, execution is hard. So yeah, that's the main thing. Write ideas down if you have them. Second thing, just in terms of being really ruthless, I think it's just so important to understand how short our lives are, how short our days are, and how long everything takes to do. So, would it be worth it to become a concert pianist at whatever age? Let's say you're 5 or 10 or 20 or 50. Would it be worth becoming a concert pianist? Maybe not, or maybe yes, maybe no, depends on you and how you use it, and it depends on your values, I suppose. But one thing is for certain, to become a concert pianist, you're gonna need, 4 hours a day for 20 years, something like that. And a bit of luck and connections and skill and motivation and a bunch of other things, but you might think, to like really master something difficult, maybe 4 hours a day for 20 years. There's plenty of techniques that can be done, much quicker. Maybe your goal is just to learn a piano song, but even then, that's going to take a lot of time, depending on how difficult it is. That might take you a solid year to get your technique up to the point where you're really happy with that one song. So, before you start an idea, start a project, before the idea leads into action, really consider the time investment. What will you be sacrificing? How long will this commitment be? Fine, it's really easy to spin up like a basic business, a website, Instagram page, LLC. That's all really simple. But how many hours a day for how many years are you going to be spending on this? And what's that going to mean in terms of sacrifice? And what's that going to mean in terms of like, can you actually do it? If it takes 4 hours a day for 2 years and you're not going to have that kind of motivation after work, don't start the project. So, number one, write down your ideas to get them out of your head. Number two, be super, super ruthless about what ideas you start to pursue. A lot of people I think would recommend you can really throw your life into one project, and that's it. Depending on your priorities, how you split up time, what the project is, maybe it's a couple. Maybe it's 3, depending on how you define project. But a lot of people would say like one. If you're really trying to make a business happen, you can do one. You can't be trying to become a pianist at the same time. You can't try to be mastering some sport at the same time. You got one thing you can really be doing at a given time in terms of work anyway. Last thing, third thing is ending projects. Ending projects, letting them die, is maybe as important as starting them in the first place, because you need to know when to cut your losses, when to say, hey, I gave it a shot, but for reason X, Y, and Z didn't work out, how to kind of learn from those things. But really, really important, like if something needs to die, let it die. It's like, imagine this is really common, you have an old dog and it's not able to walk right, and it's just in a bad mood and it's depressed, and it's near the end of its life, and it's got cancer or whatever. I don't know. I've never put down a dog, but it's really common for people to put down their old sick dogs. I mean, that's a common thing, and the feeling is generally like it's suffering. Like this is its time. If it was out in nature, it would be eaten by something or had passed of some disease or be unable to hunt. Like, it's past its natural lifespan at this point. It's kind of just downhill from here. It's more bad than good at this point. Let it die. Projects are absolutely the same. Any kind of a business, a writing project, a lot to say about perseverance and consistency and keeping things up and not giving up. Different video. All I'm saying about this is a lot of times people have something that they're just holding on to and trying to nurture. They're trying to keep their old sick dog alive forever. There's a lot of people that are out doing that, and it's very important to be able to recognize when something just needs to die. And so when I start a project, if it's involved at all, I try to think of, how do I let it die? I start the idea with its death in mind. What is the life cycle of this project going to be? I.e., maybe I'll do it for 6 months. If I'm not at this point, it dies. Something like that. And that lets you free up energy to move on to the next thing. But I mean, it doesn't mean you're killing all of your ideas. Obviously, you invest 6 months into something, it is doing pretty well. You can see a lot more upside. You're enjoying it. It's good progress. Keep on trucking. That's a great idea. Make great progress. Keep on going. You know. But if it's, you know, you're trying to just sell, you're trying to bring back like glow in the dark bead bracelets with those little letters on it, like glow in the dark friendship bracelets. You're really trying to bring them back, and you sink, you know, $7,000 in 6 months into it, and you sell 4 of them for $2 each. Wrap it up. Wrap it up onto the next thing. If you need any ideas, shoot me an email. I got a million of them. So those are the 3 things for your idea management. Write them down, cull ruthlessly, and let them die when they need to die. That is how to manage your insane amount of creativity that you may be dealing with. And over time, as you practice starting ideas, culling ideas, letting ideas die, you get way better at this, and so that you can start to like say no to exactly the right things and kind of investigate further, sort of a minimum viable concept or product, you know, really quick, to iterate and learn from things really quick. So the more that you create, the more that you practice, you'll get better and better at this over time. And some of it just does take some intuition and practice to do it. Cool. Thanks for tuning in to video essay number 1. Bye-bye.